Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and welcome to this Season of Light. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing one of the many Pokemon that received a moveset update with the new season, Shadowclaw Runerigus. Now these moves technically weren't supposed to be live until the 1st, but for some reason they're live worldwide, so you know I had to try it out. And honestly, I was incredibly impressed. I tried it out in Go Battle League, went 4-1, and had some really good battles against some members of my Discord. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Shadowclaw Runerigus in action in the Great League. Hopping into the first match, picking up a great lead, Araquanid into Swampert, and the fact that the Swampert is staying in here means that odds are they are very weak to Araquanid somewhere in the back as well. Swampert fires off the Earthquake, Araquanid shakes it off, goes for the Bug Buzz, but the opponent catches it onto Walrein. But honestly, this is where I need to see Walrein, because my backline really does not handle it well. Walrein is going to fire off a move. I tank this, I'm going to be letting this go, and then I'm going to build up and go for another Bug Buzz. Bug Buzz would KO the Walrein from here. Opponent has a tough choice to make. They are going to commit the shield and continue to farm up. Icicle Spear is not going to KO from here, so I'm going to let this through, and then I'm going to try and reach another move because I don't believe they're going to be able to farm me down, and they're forced to fire off a move. Honestly, that's perfect. Now this is going to set up Sableye for a very nice farm down here. I will have to tank one move from the Walrein, but this is going to do less than a Hydro Cannon. So I'm going to let that through, and I'm going to be able to leave with quite a bit of energy if the Swampert comes back in. Opponent thinking about it. In comes Swampert, and I fire off the Foul Play on the CMP tie. Foul Play grabs a shield from the Swampert, and at this point, I'm putting my faith into my Runerigus. I am letting the Sableye go. In comes Runerigus. Thanks to Shadowclaw, it now charges incredibly quickly. And as you can see, the fast move damage does add up quite a bit as well. I shield up the Hydro Cannon. I'm going to fire off the Sand Tomb just before they're able to reach a move. Sand Tomb will be taking out the Swampert. What do they have in back? They have Skarmory, and Runerigus will be able to close out this game. As you can see, Runerigus hits quite hard, able to land a Shadow Ball. Skarmory farming up, going for the Brave Bird, but they lose CMP. Runerigus takes down the Skarmory, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Araquanid into Defense Deoxys. Honestly, I have 3 counters to Defense Deoxys on this team, so I am very happy to see it. I'm going to farm up, switch, and catch the Thunderbolt onto Sableye. I need to bait out whatever their counter is to a Ghost type, and it is a Lickitung. Very good to bait this out, because my Runerigus does not want to see this whatsoever. I'm going to fire off the Return. Return is going to do a ton of damage onto the Lickitung. Lickitung not going to be able to farm down here. They're going to fire off a move. If this is a Body Slam, though, I'm going to live it. Lickitung goes for the Body Slam, and that allows me to reach a Foul Play. That's huge, because that should put the Lickitung into farm down range for Araquanid. So I am going to wait my timer a little bit, and then bring back in the Araquanid. Araquanid is going to have to tank moves, but honestly, that's what it does best. Araquanid is extremely tanky, able to tank a move and farm down. Back in comes the Deoxys. I'm going to fire off the Bug Buzz. Bug Buzz will do a ton of damage, grabs the shield. I bring in Runerigus, and in the back is Shadow Walrein. This is not a great matchup, but I have a shield advantage. I'm going straight for the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball, big damage onto the Walrein. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Hopping into the next match, leading Araquanid into Shadow Victreebel. Not the greatest lead ever, but at the very least, the Bug Bites are hitting for neutral. Victreebel is going to be able to outpace me and reach a Leaf Blade. Here, I make a mistake. I should have committed a shield, because Leaf Blade does a ton of damage, and then they bring in their Galarian Stunfisk. I'm going to fire off a Bubble Beam, and then I'm going to respond with my Sableye. Typically, Victreebels are paired with Bastiodons, and if that's the case, I do want to save my Runerigus to absolutely destroy the Bastiodon in the endgame. They land an Earthquake, and I'm going to be firing off the Foul Play. Unfortunately, they're going to be able to reach their Rock Slide before I'm able to reach my next move. That is quite unfortunate. I kind of need to shield something, because if I don't, my Runerigus is going to get absolutely destroyed by that Victreebel. I overfarm, and I fire off the Foul Play on the CMP tie. Foul Play takes out the Stunfisk. I'm expecting they're going to bring back in the Victreebel, and they do. This will be grabbing a shield, but this Victreebel is still very, very healthy, and my Araquanid is not. I bring in the Araquanid, I get farmed down, it's all up to Runerigus. These Razor Leafs tearing through Runerigus. Runerigus is going to be able to farm down, but I have to give up my final shield to do so. What do they have in back? They have a Registeel, and because I misplayed this game, unfortunately, I am now going to lose. Runerigus is one of the hardest Registeel counters in the entire game, as it double resists both Zap Cannon and Focus Blast, but unfortunately, with no HP and no shields, I will be taken out by the Registeel, and I lose a heartbreaking game. Hopping into the next match, leading Araquanid into Azumarill. Despite the fact that Araquanid has a type disadvantage in this matchup, honestly, this is a very, very close matchup, so I'm going to stay in with Araquanid and play it out. Because my goal is hopefully to keep this Azu away from my Runerigus, and that way, Runerigus should hopefully have a lot of play versus whatever they have in the back. Azu fires off a move, and they're not running Play Rough. That is even better. They're running Ice Beam and Hydro Pump, so things are honestly looking incredibly good for Araquanid here. But the one thing I do have to be mindful of is if they have a counter to Ghost types in the back, I kind of still need to bait it out. So I'm going to tank the Ice Beam and then bring in Sableye. I'm looking for the farm down. Azu is going to be able to reach a last second move. Even if it's a Hydro Pump, I should live it. It is the Hydro Pump that does a ton of damage, and in comes Shadow Wall Rain. Here, I should have just gone for the return. I was hoping I was going to be able to reach 2 moves, but as you see, I fall just short. I bring back in the Araquanid. I do need to get rid of this Wall Rain because I cannot have Wall Rain going up against my Runerigus. So I will need to commit a shield, but after that, I should be able to farm down the Wall Rain, and they have the very low health Azumarill. The question will be, what is that final Pokemon going to be? Opponent brings in the final Pokemon, and it's Defense Deoxys. And you know what absolutely destroys Defense Deoxys? Runerigus. In comes Runerigus. Shadow Claws chunking through the Deoxys. I don't have to shield a thing here. They go for the Thunderbolt, and they concede the match. Hopping into the next match, leading Araquanid into Oranguru. This is an incredibly good lead. Bug Bite will hit for super effective damage here. Opponent is staying in. They must be weak to Araquanid somewhere in the back. This is enough for a Psychic, but I would survive it. I let it through. It's the Psychic. Opponent save switches into Skarmory, and I respond with Sableye. Honestly, could have responded with Runerigus as well, as both have very solid neutral play in this matchup. I go for the Foul Play. Foul Play does quite a lot of damage. Skarmory is going to fire off a move. This could be the Brave Bird. I shield last second, and it is the Brave Bird. That's huge. Sableye able to farm down. I leave with a ton of loaded energy. They're going to bring in their final Pokemon, which is Shadow Swampert. I'm firing off the Foul Play. Foul Play would do quite a lot of damage if it lands, which it does. And I'm going to fire off Foul Play number 2. They kind of have to shield this if they want to keep their Swampert alive. They let it go. Back in comes Oranguru, and I bring in Runerigus. Let's debuff them and Bug Bite them all the way down. I'm going straight for the Sand Tomb here. Sand Tomb debuffs the Oranguru, and that is a good game. The final 3 battles of the video are against members of my Discord, just because unfortunately I did run out of sets. Tough lead in the first match, Araquanid into Altaria. I save switch into Sableye, and the Altaria is staying in. Honestly, this is a good sign for me. It hopefully means they are weak to Ghost types in the back, because if that's the case, then hopefully Runerigus is going to be able to close strong for me. I shield, I bait with a Foul Play, and I'm able to grab a second shield. I farm up, I'm gonna double bait in this matchup, because if I'm able to successfully double bait, which I am, I should be able to win the 2 shield on very low HP. You know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm committing the shield. Altaria trying to farm down. Sableye able to reach the last second return. This return will be taking down the Altaria and winning me switch advantage. What do they have in the back? They have Registeel, and now Registeel meets its absolute nightmare, which is Runerigus. Runerigus double resists Zap Cannon and Focus Blast, meaning there's absolutely nothing Registeel can do in this matchup. Look at how little damage this does. Zap Cannon just does absolutely nothing. I'm going to massively overfarm in this matchup. I don't care if they hit me with a second move, because it's going to do absolutely no damage. I let that through. I'm going to overfarm quite a bit and fire off the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball will take down the Registeel. In the back, they have Toxicroak, so they were incredibly weak to Runerigus in the back. I'm going to fire off the Sand Tomb onto the Toxicroak. Unfortunately, my opponent does lag for a little bit here, but either way, the game was over because I could just debuff, bring in Araquanid, and Araquanid would easily be able to handle the Toxicroak from there. Bug Buzz gets the Toxicroak low, able to farm down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Araquanid into Skarmory. Terrible lead. I'm going to save switch into Sableye, and here my opponent accidentally brought the wrong Skarmory. They're running a Steel Wing Skarmory. I save switch Sableye, and I'm met with Alolan Ninetales. I fire off the return. Return nearly KOs, but the Alolan Ninetales is able to hang on. That is quite unfortunate. I bring in Araquanid, and I'm going to farm down. Opponent brings back in that Steel Wing Skarmory. Definitely good to make sure that your Skarmories are TM'd back to Air Slash after Flying Cup. Skarmory is going to be able to reach a move. I'm going to let it go, and I'm just going to hope that Runerigus will be able to close in the endgame. I bring in Runerigus. In the back, it's Shadow Swampert. Runerigus can actually win the 1 shield with a successful bait against regular Swampert, but the 2 shield versus the Shadow, unfortunately, Runerigus is not able to pull this off. Even if I do fire off Sand Tomb after Sand Tomb, which is exactly what I'm going to do, unfortunately, the Shadow Claw damage is just not going to do enough to the point where I'm going to be able to take them out. Regardless, I'm still going to try. I fire off the second Sand Tomb. Shadow Claws doing some solid damage. I'm able to get it into the red health, but they win CMP. Hydro Cannon takes down the Runerigus, and that will be game over. So Runerigus, it is an incredibly powerful pick, but definitely one you want to keep away from Swampert. Hopping into the final match, leading Araquanid into Galarian Stunfisk. Pretty tough lead. I'm going to save switch into Sableye. The Stunfisk is staying in here, so honestly, I'm just going to go for the Foul Play. Foul Play will do quite a significant amount of damage onto the Stunfisk. Stunfisk banks the energy and then brings in Araquanid. This is a matchup that I do have the potential to flip, and if I can get switch advantage, that would be really nice because I want to align my Runerigus onto that Stunfisk. I'm able to land the return. That's huge. Honestly, I wasn't counting. I shield up, and unfortunately, I shield up Bubble Beam. That is definitely not ideal. I'm going to fire off a Foul Play. Foul Play does get the shield. Araquanid wanting to try and keep switch, but I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to commit the shield. I shield the Bug Buzz, and now I should be able to Shadow Claw down. That's big. I do leave debuffed, but I leave with a ton of energy to threaten the Stunfisk. Back in comes the Stunfisk. I'm going to fire off the Foul Play. Foul Play lands, doesn't do a ton of damage, and they're going to fire off a move. This will be taking out my Sableye, and now I get to align the Runerigus onto the Galarian Stunfisk. Stunfisk is going to be able to reach an Earthquake, but Runerigus has nice bulk. It is the same stats as Cofagrigus, so I'm able to tank that. In the back, they have Sableye. I'm full sending the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball able to connect. Opponent called the Sand Tomb, and now I can just fully commit to the farm down. That is huge. Sableye goes for the return. Araquanid hangs on, farms down, and this is game over. I'm going to fire off the Bubble Beam. They have to shield, but they let it go, and that is a good game. I hope you guys enjoyed this early look at Shadow Claw Runerigus for the Season of Light in Go Battle League. Honestly, Shadow Claw Runerigus is tremendously improved and legitimately feels like a meta contender. That Shadow Ball, Shadow Claw combination is incredibly deadly, and combined with the bait ability of Sand Tomb and the fact that it fully walls Registeel, this feels like a meta Pokemon and a Pokemon that you will definitely want to try in the new season. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.